It's new knife day. How exciting. I've got a few things on the way, so let's just have a crack open and see what this guy is. Ah. Ugh. Well, that can't be good. Well, well, well. Something of authentic quality. I'm getting the strangest feeling of deja vu. But no, this is a new thing. This is MATSATO. This isn't something I've had before because it's, you can see there the name is different. MATSATO. So must be an entirely new knife. Let's have a look. I mean, it's reminding me of something, but you know, MATSATO. That's different. That's new. MATSATO. Let's look at the specs. 420 J2 stainless steel for the blade, roasted beechwood, but no, blacksmith heritage at my finger. But no, this is MATSATO. This isn't Husk. This probably is a real. This might be the real company that is run by real blacksmiths. Now, hang on a minute. This is apparently the world's first ever premium control kitchen knife. That is a second new Husk. But that's what I thought the Husk was. Goodness me. Well, let's take it out and have a look at. Husk knife. This really does look awfully familiar.
And so it was with a heavy and fearful heart he knew what he had to do. He returned to a site of a pain long since buried, every cell in his body screaming contradictory thoughts of go no further, but also the truth must be known.
Hi, MATSATO / Husk. Glad to see you. Glad you're here. Now, I feel like you're one of the few companies I need to say this to, but people are allowed to review your products on the internet. Far bigger companies with far bigger products and more at stake, and also with larger legal departments, have to let reviews slide all the time that criticize their products. Everything that I say in this video are inferences drawn and opinions made by the product that you have presented and the marketing that you've presented on your website. Don't like it? Do better! MATSATO is Husk. It's a Husk knife. It's the same knife as the most recent Husk knife. They've changed the name to MATSATO because the Husk brand is stinky. Partially my fault, perhaps. Don't know, not going to take all the credit. At any rate, these are premium control whole knives have about a 10-year history on the internet now. They started off looking more like this. This is the first Husk knife. And these actually first bounced around the internet as Viking knives back in like the 2010s, when Vikings and like the show Vikings and Game of Thrones and that sort of European medieval stuff was the coolest, with sort of the well, I'm going to sort of lump it in with the beard oil and Kangol hat crowds. It was sort of to be sold to them, maybe a Bucks party present. Everyone would get one of these, Father's Day presents for the father that you sort of has half been there for you, maybe. These were all the rage back then for that. You could find them on Alibaba, Wish, all those sorts of sites. You still can if you look for like Viking shard knife. You find things that are almost the same as this. Then the brand Husk sort of sprung out, and they seem to just be like probably ran out of an office building somewhere, completely different to China or Japan. The knives are made in China, and they sort of put the very presumptive Husk Japan on these knives, and they sort of rebooted this Viking style knife with an air of guff about being blacksmith forged and handmade. When you looked at the website, they had all sort of what would now be assumed to be AI generated art, but back then it was just horrible Photoshop of sort of stock image chefs with these knives kind of like photoshopped in their hands. It was fucking hilarious. So naturally I ordered one of these, and this knife specifically is the stinkiest of all the Husks. So this knife is too thick, the hollow grind is too low, the surface just gets full of like food and crap, the handle is uncomfortable, the holder's stupid. Whole lot of reasons why this was basically only good for being a poop knife. And to top it off, it wasn't even made of a blade steel. It was made of like drink bottle steel, 18-8 stainless steel. So not a heat treatable steel. So this was like the lowest point of the Husk brand. And as such, I did a video on them. And actually all my videos on Husk knives, or many of them, have had strange issues with, YouTube, the YouTube sort of claiming system being used against them, which is very mysterious. I've had one taken down for linking the wrong products because I thought put a link to the Amazon or Alibaba sites that sold identical knives, just for the user to perhaps compare and draw their own conclusions. Do your own research. Not if Husk has anything to do with it. At any rate, so one got taken down for that. Another one got heavily restricted for being defamatory. They don't like it when you say that their knives are bad. I mean, the trick to me would be not to just rebadge and release bad knives. That would probably solve that problem for you. But I mean, people seem to click the Instagram ads even still. So here we are once again. At any rate, the next Husk knife, which is, it's hard to tell which one's the Husk. If you have your eyes closed, I'd have to go by which one is more time worn, because they are the same fucking knife. But the next Husk knife, credit where credit's due, was made of a blade steel, a steel that is often used in the blade of a knife. Now, not to seem patronizing, but that was a very impressive move by this, office building that arranges all this via, drop shipping in the internet. Good job, guys. Because it was made of 420J2, which has been known to be used in blades. Generally, the steel is used in the external cladding of a real higher carbon edge. But, I guess these little details can get lost when you're running a whole knife company from what I assume is, yes, a small apartment. So 420J2 was the steel. And to be honest, this is a thinner knife with a slightly better grind that in terms of cutting performance did actually do okay-ish. It'll cut like what a Wilshire or what a store-bought knife will buy. Like buy a knife from Coles or Target or Aldi or what have you guys got over there? Tesco's? Is it Walmart? Buy like a non-branded knife, and this will cut about as good as those. I still don't love the hollow grind. I still don't love this faux blacksmith finish, and I still don't love the handle and basically everything else about it. But credit where credit's due, this actually cut fine-ish. If you're after a great kitchen knife that's about the same price as the MATSATO, that doesn't remind you every time you look at it, the internet in 2024 is fucked. Bernard's back. It's Bernard. He's back and he's changed his face. How did you do it, Bernard? How did you change your face? Then the Mora or the Victorinox are really good options. Both are made of knife steel and both cost you about 40 to 50 Australian dollars. Now, blacksmithing is something that I can absolutely certainly say is not happening anywhere near these knives. 420J2 is not a steel that blacksmiths would hand work in the romantic fireside, hammer forged finish. This is simply a sort of carbonized finished or carbidized, or it's a post-manufacture finish to make it look like it's been sort of gently spackled and spalted by a time-worn blacksmith. So it's definitely not happening here. The wood handles, they are, fine, passable, but they're full of defects and flaws. This one here has gaps all through it. Let's see the new MATSATO, slightly darker on the wood, or maybe that's just less sun damage. This one's actually a little bit uneven, but generally speaking, not too badly assembled. So MATSATO is definitely the new Husk. It's just about catching you up to speed with these guys. I've done plenty of reviews on Husk knives before. I sort of no point really rehashing the whole story because it is the literal same knife as the most recent Husk knife. The same online dodgy feeling, like try and get you to buy a million things on your way out the door, is still what happens. It's just all it needs to change is basically don't buy anything. This is a bit of a generalization, but don't buy anything that's advertised on Meta products. I know that seems like a real broad thing, but heavily vet anything that you've seen on an ad from Facebook or Instagram or anything that Meta owns. They seem to be the advertiser of choice for really bad brands. So that's probably the best rule of thumb to go with. So yes, MATSATO, it's Husk. That's about all I have to say. So interestingly, the Husk site is still going. So I guess technically the MATSATO brand isn't Husk. I would say it's very likely to be the same people behind them though, because the sites look identical. They use all the same photos and pictures, and all this little quaint blacksmith chap there. Yes, very good. And just confirming something, scanning, enhance. Yes, they have synchronized Bernards. So there has been maximum Bernard synchronization complete. So that is now no longer something you can see. Old Bernard is dead. Long live old Bernard. May he find peace wearing his funny eye masks. I will remember you. So anyway, will you remember me? All this talk of Husk and MATSATO has given me spontaneous intense diarrhea. So I will see you later.